You know, I claim to be an atheist, saying there was no God, and today I'm wondering if there are any true atheists. I know people declare that vehemently, angrily sometimes. I was never angry about it. I wasn't angry at Christians. I just thought that they were weak people, needed to lean on somebody. It was really coming out of college years, after studying engineering and hearing some philosophy before that, that I became convinced in my own mind that there was no God. You know, engineers are problem solvers. And the problem I had was I didn't know what was really true. And so one day, with nobody else around, I said, okay, God, if you're really there, I want to know it. I just want to know the truth. And I figured if he was my creator, he certainly could cause me to know the truth. Why wouldn't he want me to know the truth? Why wouldn't he want to reveal himself to me? And I can look back and see that he put a lot of things in place to make sure that I got to the point of knowing the one who said, I am the truth. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but by me. So I met Christ, and that first step was right here at Thomas Road Baptist Church. Here I am in my 80th year, and I can look back and see how God used bad events for my good. Things that had been going really badly for me. I was failing in school the previous year. The relationship with my stepmother had gotten so strained that I moved in with my grandparents, who were really my rocks. And one night during the week I was there, my stepfather said, would you like to come live with us? And to my amazement, looking back, I said yes. And we left and drove 400 miles to get my things. And I moved to that little town 2 days before school started. It's the best move of my life. Made new friends, had a great year, did well in school. Also met a 15-year-old cheerleader named Sarah. So after we dated for 4 years, we got married, and that was over 57 years ago. So I'm amazed. I don't know where I'd be without her. Yeah, 3 children. They were here the day we came to Thomas Road, the whole family. It's emotional to come back here. And my memory is not good on everything, but I remember a lot of detail about that day. And I remember coming in, specifically this door that we're sitting close to, and as we came to that door, there was a greeter, and I asked him if Dr. Falwell was preaching that day, and he said he was, so I stayed. I would have left, but I did not. But just walking up to this front entrance, these big columns, and then remembering specifically where we sat that day is pretty remarkable. You know, back in 1982, I just remember the invitation and just that little acknowledgement that I wanted to trust Christ. That was it for the day. And we left. And God went to work. Yeah, and you know, it really wasn't a leap. I guess that's the difference with me, is that I took a little step here. And that's really all God requires. Just that little step to start. He does the rest. As long as we're willing. But that little step of faith came probably out of my engineering, realizing how illogical it was to look at everything I could see and say that it was not created, came about by chance. Totally illogical. And yet people are willing to deny the obvious so that they don't feel accountable to a creator. That's the sad part. People say, I like my life the way it is, and I did like mine. And you hear people say, well, Christ can change your life. I didn't want mine to change. I had a great family, a great career. I was on a school board, respected. What would I want? My life changed. Well, it turns out that change can mean a whole lot better than what's already good. But being an atheist, you have to believe in evolution. Because if there's no creator, that means everything got here all by itself. That's evolution. And I did claim to believe in evolution. But as time went on, and I looked around and I realized that there is no way that what I can observe could come about by itself, that meant there must be a creator. Evolution is a fairy tale for adults. It's a lie, gigantic lie. As an engineer, I would have to abandon the most fundamental scientific principles and fundamental mathematical principles that I learned to believe in evolution. Evolution flies in the face of science. The facts of science always agree with the Bible. It's the speculations of scientists that's where we get in trouble. The first verse of the Bible is the dividing point verse. There's two big divisions in the Bible in the way people are divided. One is, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. You either believe that or you don't. There's a whole bunch of people now separated. And after that becomes Jesus saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. So you take all these people that say they believe in God, first of all, and when somebody tells me, well, I believe in God, I say, so does Satan. Satan believes in God. He meets with God, but he's not going to be in heaven. So what's the difference? It's admitting who we are, that we are sinners against God, even though we don't like to say that. We all are. Every single one is. The Bible tells us that. Asking him to forgive us, and just trusting him for the future. And nothing we can do. There's nothing, absolutely nothing we can do to get to heaven. It's just what we decide. It's a decision. He's done the work. It was my wife one evening in our living room when Sarah said, I don't know where you stand anymore. Because she had seen changes that I might not have realized. And I just remember stopping and thinking a minute and said, I believe it. I believe it all. I believe enough to accept the part I don't understand. Remember the next morning, walking into church, and a young lady in the church ran up, gave me a great big hug. She'd heard what happened. And it was just different. Everything was different. It was more open. And I know now why people rejoice and hug somebody that has just trusted Christ. And I really had a few years before, but it really hadn't sunk in and become very realistic to me till that night. Yeah. So. To an atheist watching, I would say, are you courageous enough to say, I would want to know the truth no matter what it is? even if it's different than what I now believe. And if he's willing, and he asks God to show him truth, he'll get it.